2023 paper, there was one question which was a case based, like X and Y. This type of questions are asked और was asked. Actually 2023 में एक क्वेश्चन आया था जो केस बेस्ड होता है, मतलब एक केस दिया हुआ है कि सपोज X इज द कंपनी, Y इज द एम्प्लॉय एंड सो ऑन. उसी के फॉर्मेट के बेसिस पे आई हैव ब्रॉट अ क्वेश्चन फॉर यू. सो दिस इज अ केस बेस्ड क्वेश्चन which is saying, imagine you are a manager of a government agency responsible for handling various administrative tasks. Your organization follows the principles of Max Weber bureaucracy theory. You have been just presented with two potential candidates for supervisory position. How many candidates? Two. Question is, based on Max Weber bureaucracy theory, which candidate is more likely to be selected for supervisory position in your organization? Options. Candidate A has a close personal relationship with several senior managers in organization and they are known for their charismatic and outgoing personality. Candidate B has consistently demonstrated competence, specialized knowledge, and has a record of following established rules and procedure. They have completed relevant training and certifications for the supervisory role. Candidate C are strong personal connection and favoritism, which organization and they have in company for a long time, earning the trust of their colleagues. Rather, I would make this as candidate okay, C only. Fine. And candidate D is known for the flexibility in job roles and willingness to blend the rules to achieve. So now there are four candidates, not actually two. Let's say four candidates are there. Basis on Max Weber's administrative or the principles, you are supposed to select one person for supervisory position. Whom you will be selecting? Yes, answer. Read it, think it. Yes, you all have answered already. Nice, very good. So answer has to be option number B. Why? Because the Max Weber's principle is based on what? Bureaucracy. Bureaucracy says what? Someone which is based on competency, specialized knowledge, rules, procedures, and so on. So who matches? Candidate B matches completely to the bureaucracy theory. Next question. So answer is option number B. What is the key distinction between power over and power with as explained by Mary Parker Philot? Power over is a form of hierarchical authority while power with involves shared decision making. Power over is based on personal influence while power with is based on coercion. Power over emphasizes individualism with power while power with focuses on group collaboration. There is no significant distinction between the two concepts. So what is power over and what is power with? Yes. Many of you have answered option number C. Power over emphasizes individualism while power with focuses on group collaboration. And option A, what is about option A? Power over is a form of hierarchical authority while power with involves shared decision making. A और C में से क्या होना चाहिए? थोड़ा सोच के बताओ. A या C? Yes. See, the answer has to be option number A. अब आंसर A क्यों होगा? क्योंकि मेरी पार्कर फेलोट ने इंटीग्रेशन की बात करी है. इंटीग्रेशन हियर मोर पावर विथ का मतलब होता है यू आर गिविंग देम पावर, you are empowering them, means you are involving them into decision making. So it's not just on collaborating or integrating the activities of group. केवल ग्रुप को कोलैबोरेट नहीं करना है, आप उनको डिसीजन मेकिंग में शेयर दोगे, उनको एम्पावर करोगे, उसे पावर विथ कहते हैं. और पावर ओवर यूजुअली आपकी हायरार्किकल अथॉरिटी से आता है. कहीं ना कहीं उसमें इंडिविजुअलिज्म डायरेक्ट फोकस नहीं होता. इट्स नॉट अबाउट इंडिविजुअलिटी. सो पावर ओवर का मतलब ये नहीं कि आप इंडिविजुअल एज एन डिसीजन ले रहे हो. नो. सो नाउ दिस पावर ओवर का मतलब होता है आप अपनी अथॉरिटी डाल रहे हो जो आपको पोजीशन से, लीगल पोजीशन से मिली है, आप उनके ऊपर डोमिनेशन कर रहे हो. राइट. सो आंसर हैज टू बी ऑप्शन नंबर ए. इज दिस क्लियर? समझ में आया सबको? जिन्होंने सी आंसर किया था, दिस इज वेरी वेरी, दे ऑप्शंस आर वेरी क्लोज. So this type of questions nowadays are asked in PSUs, and even in the your conceptual questions are asked in NET. Next question. So now match the principles of the coordination on the left with their description on the right. So since left right space was not available, I have written this way. Principles of coordination. There are 4 principles of coordination given by Mary Parker Filot. Direct contact, early stages, reciprocal relationship, continuous process. The description is given. You have to match what is direct contact, what is early stages, what is reciprocal relationship, and what is continuous process. Read it, answer this. Yes, waiting for the answers. Description 1 says this principle emphasizes that the coordination should be learned and mastered from the beginning, ensuring no employees feels less important than others. It involves regular meetings of discussing assignment in the person to help organization avoid conflict, misunderstanding. That's option 2. Third, every worker, regardless of their level in hierarchy, is responsible for pulling their weight and integrating with the rest organization. Coordination must be maintained as an ongoing effort, and it should not be forgotten after the initial learning. Very good. So those who have answered option number A, very correct. So you know, when the coordination, principles of coordination given by Mary Parker Filot says that a coordination has to be started or it can be maintained only when there is a direct contact with employee and employer or the team members. This can be, direct contact can be achieved only when you are regularly meeting them, regularly interacting with them, right? You are removing misunderstanding, you are keeping the transparency. Coordination started at early stage itself. If you want to have a smooth functioning, right, starting से ही every activity, हर एक activity को coordinate करना जरूरी है. So it should be learned and mastered right from beginning. Reciprocal का मतलब होता है give and take, one sided नहीं होता है, right? So everyone have to pull their weight and integrate into the organization. Continuous means coordination have to be ongoing. You cannot leave it in between. It has to be ongoing right from the starting. Let's move to the next. In Chester-Bernard view, what is the primary distinction between effectiveness and efficiency in the organization? So, Chester-Bernard has given effectiveness and efficiency dichotomy. I hope you remember, you have gone through the content. वहां पे पढ़ाया हुआ है मैंने, कंटेंट में भी दिया हुआ है. तो अब ये पूछ रहे हैं कि इफेक्टिवनेस और एफिशिएंसी के बीच का डिफरेंस क्या है. वेरी वेरी कंसेप्चुअल क्वेश्चन. While I was teaching you, मैंने आपको बताया था इफेक्टिवनेस का मतलब क्या होता है और एफिशिएंसी का मतलब क्या होता है. Effectiveness is about satisfying individual motives while efficiency deals with the goal achievement. A option तो completely wrong है. It's not about individual. Effectiveness and efficiencies are interchangeable terms. I think no, they are not. They have their own meaning. Effectiveness is related to the degree of goal achievement, while efficiency concerns with the interpersonal communication, not about communication. So effectiveness is degree of goal achievement and efficiency relate to the satisfying. Now what does this mean? When a person is said to be effective, मैं effective हूं, मैंने effective काम किया, यानी जो मुझे टारगेट्स दिए थे, गोल दिए गए थे, वो मैंने अचीव कर लिए. So when I am able to achieve my targeted goals, it is said that I am effective in nature. Efficient का मतलब होता है कि जो टारगेट्स दिए हैं उसको गिवन पीरियड ऑफ द टाइम या गिवन लेवल ऑफ एक्सपेक्टेंसी, मेरे खुद के एक्चुअली एफिशिएंसी का डायरेक्ट रिलेशनशिप टाइम से होता है. यानी गिवन टाइम में टारगेट तो पूरा कर लिया, लेकिन क्या मैंने वो टारगेट इसी टाइम में किया? मेरी जो एक्सपेक्टेशन है या एम्प्लॉयर की मुझसे एक्सपेक्टेशन थी कि 8 घंटे में करेगा, 10 दिन में करेगा, तो जब वो टाइम में हो जाता है ना, तो हम उसे एफिशिएंसी. नाउ एफिशिएंसी इज मोर ऑफ इंडिविजुअल. व्हाई? मेरी एफिशिएंसी इंप्रूव करना यानी मेरी अपने खुद की प्रोडक्टिविटी इंप्रूव करना. तो जब मैं एफिशिएंसी पे फोकस करूंगी, मैं अपने मोटिव्स पे, अपने इंडिविजुअल ग्रोथ पे, अपने इंडिविजुअल डेवलपमेंट पे फोकस करूंगी, एंड हेंस दिस इज रिलेटिंग टू द सैटिस्फाइंग इंडिविजुअल मोटिव्स. लेट्स मूव टू द नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन. According to Chester Bernard, acceptance of authority authority is most effective and subordinate except it's willingly. Assertion. Reason. Authority is imposed through strict rules and punishment, often leads to higher compliance rate. Given assertion. Reason. Acceptance of authority क्या है और reason यहाँ पे दिया हुआ है. What should be the correct answer? Okay. So something that you need to understand about the authority. Smriti, you want to ask something? Smriti, yes. Yeah. Smriti, you are not audible. Fine. So answer this. क्या होना चाहिए इसका आंसर? Option B. Those who have answered option B is correct. Reason. Why authority is option, sorry. Those who have answered option number A, not B, option number A is incorrect and option number B is correct. The reason is, see, this is about acceptance of the authority, जो चेस्टर बेर्नार्ड ने कहा, और ये जो है ये नॉर्मल अथॉरिटी का डेफिनेशन है. दोनों भी, बोथ दी स्टेटमेंट्स आर अबाउट अथॉरिटी. ठीक है, both these statements are about authority, but this is about what चेस्टर बेर्नार्ड सेड. चेस्टर बेर्नार्ड ने कहा कि अथॉरिटी तभी मानी जाती है जब आप उसको विलिंगली एक्सेप्ट करते हो, और ये अथॉरिटी कहती है कि जब स्ट्रिक्ट रूल्स, यानी मेरे पास में अगर कोई अथॉरिटी है, मैं अपने सबऑर्डिनेट को ऑर्डर दे रहा हूं या दे रही हूं कि ये पूरा होना चाहिए, अगर वो फुलफिल नहीं होता है, वो पूरा नहीं करते हैं, तो रूल्स, उसके अगेंस्ट जो बनाए गए रूल्स हैं, उसके अगेंस्ट जो पनिशमेंट है, वो रिवॉर्ड से ज्यादा हायर रेट ऑफ कंप्लायंस को लेकर आता है. सो बोथ दी स्टेटमेंट्स आर ट्रू, बट दैट इज नॉट द करेक्ट एक्सप्लेनेशन. ठीक है, इज दिस क्लियर? आया समझ में? चलो, लेट्स मूव टू द नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन. Another one. And according to Chester Bernard, organizational equilibrium is achieved when there is a balance between what employees receive from the organization and what they contribute to it. Bernard treated organization as separate from its environment and emphasized the importance of employees' personal and organizational goals. Yes, very conceptual questions. Let me see how many of you will be able to answer this. Very, very conceptual questions. HR aspirant, good morning. Harshini Avasthi, good morning. Rashmi Shankar, good morning. Chalo, answer. Very conceptual. Let me see how many of you can answer this correctly. Chester Bernard have given the concept of organizational equilibrium. Rajshekhar answered A. Shivani answered A. ठीक है, और बाकी आरती B, Sneha B, others C. The answer for this is option number A. Why? See, Chester Bernard, why he is focusing organizational equilibrium? Because according to him, individuals have their needs and organization have their needs. But this equilibrium balance would be available only when their needs are balanced. Why? And how? Why? So basic base of this organizational equilibrium itself is this, that पीपल, एम्प्लॉइज की जो पर्सनल नीड होती है ना, वो ऑर्गेनाइजेशन के एनवायरमेंट से अलग होती है, ऑर्गेनाइजेशन के गोल से अलग होती है, तभी तो हम इक्विलिब्रियम की बात कर रहे हैं ना. सो दिस, बोथ दी स्टेटमेंट्स आर ट्रू एज वेल एज दिस इज द रीजन, इज द करेक्ट एक्सप्लेनेशन. तभी तो इक्विलिब्रियम की बात होगी ना, वरना इक्विलिब्रियम की बात क्यों आएगी? जब दोनों चीजें सेपरेट है, पर्सनल गोल्स अलग है, ऑर्गेनाइजेशनल गोल्स अलग है, तभी तो बैलेंस की बात आएगी ना. सो ऑप्शन ए इज करेक्ट हियर.